Well, hi guys. Paul here from PABrewNews. Out here in my parents' porch on a very snowy, cold day in Pennsylvania. The kids are spent the night here because I had to take care of the. It was the second day of the snow, and I had to take care of the driveway and all that stuff over at my house. So just to be safe because of the roads and whatnot, etc., just had the kids spend the night here. So now they're doing all their goodness school stuff. Well, hello, Thomas. How you doing, buddy? Now, what we're doing here is an Oud Brunello from Birrifico del Ducato from Italy. A little sour brown ale. Yeah, cheers, rating on your parade. Ooh, right there. So I bought this one in 2000, 7% alcohol by volume. I bought this one in 2017. So this is a little bit old already. So I got this one in about this time the same. Ooh, that was a hell of a cap. No hiss whatsoever on this cap, though. No hiss whatsoever. So this was part of the no hiss at all coming out of this. This was part of the big ass purchase I did from craftshack.com. So this was old. This was an old purchase back in 2017-18 area. So here we go. Let's try this one. Up to light, pretty much just, I'd say pretty clear, but just murky browns, pretty much. Little kind of soft ring of a head sticking to the side of the glass. Looked like there was a little bit of something going on in there, but it really wasn't having any hiss when I took it out. So let's see. Let's give it an aroma. Cheers. Obviously, you get that kind of like tart cherry almost kind of quality coming off. Little oak tannic, hint of a caramel. Soft caramel, a little bit of roast, tannic tones, a little bit of that sherry quality. So here we go. So Paul, do you smoke the weeds? No, I don't. I don't smoke anything. So I do a pipe now and again. Then when I pretend I'm Gandalf, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Cheers. Hmm. So, wow, puckering, pucker, very intense, very puckering. I just had another one. It wasn't from Birrifico del Ducato. It was Carlos, Carlos, Saint Carlos or something like that. And that was another old style sour. I'm trying to remember what it was. Not sure if I did a review of it or not, but it was just that kind of really intense sherry, almost a hint of a vinaigrette. It had different nuances, but the more you drink it, the more you just kind of get into it. If you know, the more you do it, the more you like it, kind of a thing. And this has that same kind of quality. Drying your palate out, rapier like acidity, kind of tart, playfully tart. You'd have a little bit of a almost hint of a lemon quality in there too, just in the mix of everything. You still get a little bit of that caramel. You still get a little bit of that roast tannic, earthy, woody tannic qualities wafting through. Sherry almost quality. It's nice. Ooh. I think this is only my second beer from Birrifico del Ducato. The first one I ever had was the Verdi Imperial Stout. I'm assuming it was named after Giuseppe Verdi and stuff, so I'm not sure. But the Verdi Imperial Stout was Imperial Stout with chilies in it. It was probably still to this day probably my favorite chili beer. Just the way everything kind of worked together pretty nicely in the beer itself. Ooh. Excuse me. Just got out of the shower and figured, what the hell, I'll do a beer review after running around all day and shoveling and all that kind of fun stuff. Oof. So thanks for tuning in. Ooh. This is my last review beer. This was my last one too, down in the old dungeon there. So this was my last review beer. So I was like, well, that's the one we're gonna do then. It's a little worried, but at the same time, I don't know if I should have been worried. So the fact I can't swirl today. The There was no hiss, but at the same time, wouldn't say it's oxidized, but it's already soured. So I don't know how much that would play a role. A little liveliness to the beer would be nicer, a little bit more zippy carbonation. I think that's the only thing that's really lacking here, but it doesn't taste off or anything. It just tastes like a nice old brewed sour beer, a Flemish sour, that kind of thing. So the taste is apropos. So that's good. That's good at least. Anywho, yeah, I don't do many beer reviews. I haven't been doing a lot of beer reviews lately. Uh, I've done a couple here and there. Haven't bought a lot of different crazy beers. Just kind of been going down and drinking the stock that I have down in the dungeon at my parents' house. The couple cases, the old German stuff that I bought. Um, I have a bunch of. I have a a whole line at the house from the Helles all the way to the oak smoke double bock of the Schunkeler beers, the Rauch beers, the smoke beers. I have all of them at the house. So at one point in time, I guess I will try to just enjoy one of those. My internet's completely shit again at the house. So unfortunately, I won't be doing it in a live stream like I hoped I could be doing, like a night of the 8 of the smoked beers kind of a deal. But unfortunately, it is one of those. I guess I'm going to have to just watch the Hobbit marathon or whatever, or the Lord of the Rings marathon. Just watch them all. Okay, said Ray I prayed. Uh, had this beer mega years ago. Oh, you had this one. Okay, of course I don't remember it. I smoked too much damn weed. Well, there you go. It is what it is. I drink too much damn beer, and I'm stupid fat right now too. So I'm a little overly conscious about the fact how fat I am, and no girl is ever gonna want this unless I drop it like 50 pounds. So because my guts is stupid. Well, maybe not 50, maybe 30. I've got to do about 30 pounds of fat and gain about 20 pounds of muscle and about 10 inches of length in another area. And then I might be okay. Maybe not, though. Like I said, it's different. So I know some people just can't stand sour beers, and I get it. It's definitely not for everybody. But I mean, this doesn't taste like a. I mean, this I've had sour beers that taste just like this. They're like 3, 4%. This is 7%. So this is a serious beer. Ale aged in oak barrels, and that tannic note is certainly going through. This might be collaboration with Oxbow. See the Oxbow label right there. I'm not sure if that's the other brewery it's in collaboration with. Um, from Gruppo Italy. No, maybe not. I can't see the labels all kind of crossed over each other right there. Hmm. Okay. Not too much to read on it, but it's not bad. I say it's as advertised. It's pretty damn good. Definitely a solid little thing. It's not blowing my doors off or anything, but the Brunello, I definitely give that a 7.5 out of 10. Definitely higher than the ABV, so that's good. Oh, sour. You love those sour. You love sour beers. And that's the thing is, I know some people who just love them, and some people who just hate them. And I'm just kind of, I really don't gravitate towards them. But if there is one, I'll give it a go. The the craftShack.com order I made back in 2018-17 area, the winter of 17 into 18, I bought sheerly by name and by just label, whatever. I didn't want to worry about styles. I just kind of, because there's been a couple times where I went out all day and just traveled Pennsylvania and did beer runs, epic beer runs, you know. And then I come back, and then I realized every single fucking beer I bought was an Imperial Stout because I look for the Imperial Stouts. I'm sorry. So this time when I did that, I ordered just simply cool label, cool name, and I bought over $1,000 worth of beer, and came in came in the mail. Came in 5 different boxes, and that was the brunt of my beer reviews from 2018 came from those boxes. So this was just one that was hanging around as a leftover. Because again, once I got the beers, I really don't hesitate. I don't tend to gravitate towards the sour beer. So I think this is why one that kind of got pushed off for quite a long time. But the boxes also came over here to get put in the dungeon. And then again, I wasn't picking this one up. But, you know, I finally did it. And it's a good little beer. It's a fun little sour beer. I always find that once I start getting into a sour beer, I like the Flemish browns and stuff like that, the Flemish reds that we used to get around here. Can't remember the name of the brewery, but we used to get. It's been so long, my mind is just blanked out right now. But they were always, the Flemish reds and the Flemish browns. They would come in here in big 750s. And I like the 750s of sours because, it just gives you enough to share it, and it gives it enough to because once you start getting into the sour, I notice you want to keep going and going and going. And Violent by Design comes in with a, hey, Paul, cheers. Well, cheers to you. There you go. Yeah. But I don't know why I can't remember it. Was it oh, God. I know what it is, too. It was one of the ones that Michael Jackson was just going nuts about. It is. It is the one that Michael Jackson did a big thing about it. And I don't know why. I don't know why I can't remember this fucking brewery. It's a Belgian brewery. Belgium. I think it's from Belgium. And Michael Jackson was just going absolutely nuts. It was basically they do the sour beers. Flemish sours and stuff. And I just cannot, for the life of me, remember this brewery. But it's kind of funny when you listen to Michael Jackson talk. It almost sounds like he's like people are like, oh, like he's reviewing this beer. I was like, no, he's basically just romanticizing about everything he's ever experienced and kind of like selling you on this and selling you on that instead of actually like reviewing the beer. You know what I mean? Like he's just romancing the Stein like Peter does when he talks about everything from Germany. It's from Germany. It's 10 out of 10. That kind of thing. And that's what Michael Jackson does when he goes through his history. It's not Duchess. It's not Duchess. Duchess de Bourgogne. It's not that. It's because actually that was a real newer thing for this area anyway to get Duchess in. They just got Duchess in down at this one place I'm gonna run over to tomorrow. I'm actually gonna meet this guy over in Danville at the one beer place I like to go to that has a little bit more aged stuff, a little bit more rare, kind of imports from Europe and stuff. And I'm picking up a PV PA system from him. So Cantillon, no, it wasn't Cantillon. And that's the thing. It's like it's so blah. It's right there. It's right there. It wasn't Chimay. It's not Chimay. It's bothering me. I won't remember it either. I won't remember it. And it's not Saint Sophonis. It's not this. It's not that. It's like the only thing we could get around here for so long, because it has, we had the 3 things around here you could get. You could get Delirium Tremens, and then you could get Chimay, and then you could get the other one, which was a Flemish red, and that's it. And this, memory is so funny. Oh, no, it's not Delirium. Memory, no, not Bellevue. No. It's the goddamn. I might even be fucking it up. I might be even fucking it up, but on YouTube, it's Michael Jackson is definitely in there talking about this beer, and it's like how amazing it is. Like, yeah, it's not really that good. But at the time, back in the day, this shit was big news. I mean, it was. That's all we had. There wouldn't be the craft thing wasn't so huge as it is now, considering Michael Jackson was doing this in the obviously craft brewing companies, especially in like Pennsylvania, were booming and starting to get growing and starting in the 90s, in the mid 90s and stuff. Rodenbach, got it. There it is. Rodenbach. It was Rodenbach. Thank you. I could not for the life of me remember that. The Rodenbach Grand Cru. I have never really like, and that was like the first one too, the first brew like that I ever had. I was just like, yeah, I'm not really getting into it. Not really into this kind of new style that I just tried here. I'm trying to get into beer back in the day too, you know. And when I first started getting into beer, I automatically went to Europe. So, you know, you're trying the Europe German styles, you're Belgian, then you're trying to, tip your toe into Belgian styles, and Rodenbach and stuff was just not for me back then, for sure. So it would be actually interesting to find a bottle of Rodenbach and try it now to see what actually I think now now that I've had crazy ass sours and stuff like that, and I've had the Cantillons, and I've had this, and I've had that, so it would be actually interesting. Next time I went back and I did the Chimay Grand Cru recently, or the Chimay Blue, or whatever the hell it was. It was all right. It's okay. It's not bad. It's just not the greatest thing in the world. Like there's a lot of people that just think these beers are just the fucking cat's ass, and I go, they're all right. They're okay. It's all right that you like them too, but they're okay. They're not the greatest. Because I've actually had some pretty fantastic Belgian beers though that kick the shit out of the ones that that people talk about like that. So, like, what was it? I've had a Westie. I didn't have a Westie 10. I had a Westie 8, and the Westie 8 was all right. It's okay. I mean, I know a lot of. I mean, I'd take a Rochefort 8 over a Westie 8 any day of the week. It's just better. So it is what it is. And taste is subjective, and we all know this. So anyway, well, back to this beer. And thank you for that. Uh, Need to pair with food. I'm in order to get into sour. I hate pairing food with beer. I don't. I like to eat my food and then drink my beer, and never paths shall meet for me. I'm just one of those guys. I think the beer ruins the food, or the food ruins the beer, even if it's paired exactly the way it's supposed to be. Wine, beer, whatever you want. It just doesn't. No, I can't do both. Um, the only time I can do that is when I'm really already drunk on German beer and I'm eating German food. It's like the only time I'll actually eat sauerkraut. I hate sauerkraut. But if I'm already pissed and eating a big plate of German food and there's sauerkraut on there, I'll just eat everything and I'm okay. Yeah, it's just one of those kind of deals. You're in the moment, I guess. But, ooh, well, it's about 20 minutes now. And yeah, just hanging around. Take another sip of this, call it a day. Yeah, the old Brunello from Birrifico del Ducato from Italy. Pretty good stuff. I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. I think a lot of people definitely like it. This has been Paul for PABrewNews. Thanks for everybody commenting and watching. Cheers. Watch that finger. Here it comes.